cancer as a result of their workplace-related exposure, just 5%. Those who develop cancer because of infections, another 5%. Because certain infections can actually cause cancer. For example, the human papilloma virus can cause cervical cancer in women. Those who also have HIV, if it develops into AIDS, if they don't take care of it and they allow it to progress, it can develop a type of cancer called Kaposi's sarcoma. Okay? Then those who develop cancer because of obesity and sedentary living, no exercise, another 5%. Those who develop liver cancer because of alcoholism, 3%. Those who develop skin cancer and other forms of cancer because of ultraviolet rays of the sun, 2%. Pollution, all the different things, lead, arsenic, cadmium that we emit into the air indiscriminately. And people inhale it, and it can lead to cancer, 2%. Those who are on drugs, illicit drug that is, and it can lead to cancer, 1%. Other factors, 2%. Now let's look at cardiovascular disease, colon cancer, diabetes. Studies have shown that 80% of heart disease is as a result of diet and lifestyle. In other words, if you meet 10 people that have cardiovascular challenge, 8 out of 10 is because of their diet. 9 out of 10 people that have type 2 diabetes develop it out of their diet, not because of their genes. 9 out of 10. That's whopping. 7 out of 10 people with stroke and 7 out of 10 people with colon cancer, again, diet and lifestyle. Now, if you put everything together, of all the things that make people to either develop cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, stroke, cancer, or all those illnesses, if you look at the percentage, you find out that about 70% of those factors are things that are under our control. And only 30% may be outside of our control, which means that if we know the right things to do, then we might be able to prevent up to 70% of the things that afflict us. And then the other 30% that we don't have absolute control over, at least we have a measure of control. Let me show you what the Bible says in the Message Bible, 10 and verse 3. It says, people ruin their lives by their own stupidity. So why does God always get blamed? People ruin their health by their stupidity. People ruin their finances by their stupidity. People ruin their marriages and their businesses and their ministries and their enterprises and their relationships and their academics, whatever it is that is the project. People ruin it not because there are too many witches and wizards, but because of their stupidity. Stupidity means not living by wisdom. The Bible says wisdom is a principal, not a vice principal. Wisdom is the principal thing, and in all that getting, get understanding. All right. So, in all of this, what am I going to leave with you as your takeaway? I have crystallized them into action points. And I think you need to note these ones if you have not been noting anything else. 7 things that I recommend to you to begin to practice from today. In the second segment, I will be giving you the nitty-gritty. Break it down into bite-sized actions, okay? But now, let's just summarize them as this. If you want to optimize your health, take charge of those things that are under your control, okay? And put your absolute faith in the faithfulness of God to preserve you after you have done your part. The number one thing that we all must do is to normalize our weight. Because if you have weight imbalance, that can put you at risk for certain conditions. If you're underweight, go gain a little more weight. And if you're overweight or obese, then go shed some weight. Now, that's a project all by itself, because there are things you need to know on weight loss. Go do your research, consult those who can help, and just begin. That if your weight is out of whack, that already puts you at risk for certain things. So normalize your weight. That's your first assignment. Number 2 is to make dietary adjustment. And when I say dietary adjustment, I'm saying identify the things that from now on you will no longer indulge in them, And from now on, you will begin to eat more of this. It's a plus and minus situation. Lifestyle adjustment, dietary adjustment. I have identified about 30 substances that I will distance myself from for the rest of my life because they are health destroyers. Some of them, all of us are agreed on them. For example, smoking, everybody agrees on that. Maybe alcohol, most people agree on that. But when it comes to sugar, when it comes to, let me not mention the rest so that I don't scatter things. But just understand that there are things that if you continue to indulge in them, they will compromise your health. You need to take them out. Identify what those things are. And then there are some things that when you consume them, they will help to improve your health. Find out what those things are. Fresh fruits, raw vegetable salads, and consume more of that. Now, I am a village boy. I grew up with pounded yam a lot. And in my growing years, if I visited you and you gave me a vegetable salad, rice, moi and meat and whatever, I'll eat the rice, the moi, the meat. I'll leave your goat food for you. I won't touch it. But now with what I know, I will eat the salad first before I touch anything else. Because now I know that that helps my health better than anything else. So find out what those things are, that when you eat them, they will boost your health, boost your immunity, and help you to live a healthier life. And eat more of that. That's adjust your diet. Number 3, start an exercise program. 30 minutes every day for at least 4 days a week. If you can do 6 days a week, better. But at least 4 days a week, do 30 minutes. And you don't have to start from the top. Start from where you are. Start with 5 minutes a day, graduate to 10 minutes, to 15 minutes, until you achieve 30. And try and do 4 days a week at least, 4 days a week. And you don't have to be very aggressive. You are not going to the Olympics, okay? Just do it at your pace. And you get used to it. It becomes part of your lifestyle. Brisk walking, swimming, cycling, skipping rope, trampoline, bouncing on the trampoline. All are simple things that you can do as part of your health strategy. Number 4 is to manage your stress, especially because you live in Lagos. You have to sit down and understand. You see, stress are of 2 types. We have what we call stressors, stress events. Stress events. And then we have what we call stress environment. Stress events and stress environment. If somebody just experienced an armed robbery attack now, that's an event that stresses and traumatizes the person. That is an example of a stress event. If somebody just loses his or her spouse, that is an event. And that is a stressor, but it's a stress event. But if you live in an environment like ours in Lagos, where traffic is wonderful, where human behavior and traffic rage is the norm, that is a stress environment, okay? Now, stress events are hit and run things, but stress environment is constant and consistent. They rarely change. So it is you who must devise strategies not to allow it to penetrate. The environment is always there. No amount of water can drown a boat until it gets into it. You can live in the ocean with a little boat. If it doesn't get into it, you won't drown. All right? So prevent the stress environment from coming inside. Number 5, drink enough water. Don't get dehydrated. Make it your habit. Eliminate some coffee, some tea, some soft drinks entirely, and then replace it with water. Plain old water. Your body is about 70% water. And when you get dehydrated, that puts you at some form of risk. Number 6, minimize your exposure to radiation. Your telephone, GSM, is a source of radiation. Your microwave oven in your kitchen is a source of radiation. The telecommunication mast next to your compound is a source of radiation. The NEPA power line is a source of radiation. If you want to rent a house or buy land to build your house, survey the environment and see whether there is power line before you buy. Because you are going to be sleeping there 6 hours thereabouts every day. And the amount of radiation your body will absorb can lead to leukemia, lymphoma, all forms of cancer. So you need to reduce that. I don't put my phone on my body, for example. You won't find my phone in my chest pocket or anywhere. You can't find it on my body. because I don't want my body to absorb that. Limit your exposure to radiation. And number 7, stop high-risk behavior. Anything that can compromise your health, stress, sleep deprivation, fasting incorrectly. Some of us, we fast. We want to break our fast, maybe because we are not able to get home quickly to break our fast. We just order for a bottle of soft drink and take that in the first place. A lot of acid in the soft drink on an empty stomach. You are ruining your health. That's a way to fast and break incorrectly, okay? And so on and so forth. So, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen, co-debaters, I hope with these 3 points of mine, I've been able to convince and not confuse you that you can control your health.